Hey, you look like I'm wearing shirts. Totally fake.
All right, here we go. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Podcast Juice. Welcome to the PRN Alumni. My name is Michael Dean. We are on video today. It's a little different. I have to sort of put my glam face on. I look tired. Hey, it is what it is. But ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, I am not here by myself. I am joined by the panel hosts of this year's PRN Alumni event, and we're going to start with Mr. Troy Gua. Sir, how are you?
I'm doing well, Michael. What's happening, man?
Man, we're just enjoying the day. I'm glad you guys are here. Also, we have
video phones.
Yeah, I know, right? This is a whole different medium for me. We're also joined by Kanisa. Kanisa, how are you?
I'm good. Beautiful day in Atlanta.
Nice. And you got that beautiful picture of Marvin Gaye in the background there and the Prince. I'm like, man, that's tight. I love it. I love it. And also, this man needs no introduction, but of course he does. Let me give him one. Mr. Dwayne Tudal. Sir, how are you?
I'm doing great. And of course, my background is a bunch of crap.
So, well, you are a writer, so I would assume to have a lot of books and research and stuff back there.
Research. Everything on the stack is research. Everything over here is research. Yeah, so you caught me.
And let the people know about your book as well. I don't go any further before we touch on that, because you have a great Prince book that I think every Prince fan and anybody interested in Prince should get. Tell us the name of the book and what it's about.
Okay, well, this wow. Thank you. It is. This isn't about my book, but it's Prince in the Purple Rain era studio sessions. I love that I see that in the background here. That's so cool to see that in the background there. And it covers the studio sessions from 1983 and 1984. I'm coming out with a updated version of that with an extra 30 or so pages with new interviews, new dates, and all kinds of stuff in November. So I'm just kind of swamped with making sure that gets done. And then hopefully I'll do another one with 1985, 1986 that covers all that stuff.
Beautiful, beautiful. And Kanisa, you also are known out here in these internet purple streets. You have a podcast. I heard a little bit of something about it. Will you tell us, people, what the name is, what's it about?
It is called Muse to the Pharaoh, and it is Prince from a female perspective. So our whole staff is female and women, and of course, there's this guy named Michael Dean that sponsors us as part of Podcast Juice.
Yeah, all right. We'll definitely check that out. And the man, the myth, I was going to say the doll maker, but that might not be an accurate name. The puppet master. I'm thinking of like some comic book type of things. But anyway, artist, true artist.
I'll take
definitely,
that.
Definitely an artist. Definitely phenomenal. Man, tell us about what you do for those who do not know. I don't know if you're actually able to show something there.
Let's see. I'm actually in the process of recreating something, so it's kind of a mess. No, thanks, Kanisa. You're such a sweetheart. What I do that pertains to the Prince community is a project, the photography project that has evolved over years and become a way to tell the story of Prince now, really. And it's a 1/6 scale surreal version of Prince that I use to make photographs and try to somehow tell the story of this amazing artist. I think that's what probably most people that are watching this know me from.
All right. Well, I've seen it in the flesh. It's amazing work. There's so much detail. And you come with every Saturday. You're posting new pictures, right? And tell us a little bit about that real quick.
Okay. So after Prince left, I decided to kind of chronologically document his life and career. And so every Saturday on Instagram, I make a post, and it's hashtag LPP Saturday, which I guess I should have explained. LPP, I call the project Le Petit Prince, and LPP for short. So if you're on Instagram, you can follow me at troygua.com or troygua. But if you just want to see the LPP stuff, it's hashtag LPP Saturday. And yeah, so every Saturday I release a new image. And we had gotten to the end of, the end of the story. And so I was in a real conundrum about what to do about that. And I consulted a lot of friends and a lot of folks, and just decided that the best thing to do would be to time warp him back to the beginning and start anew, because it's endless inspiration. And this project could literally go, I mean, it will go on as long as I live. So,
All
So
right.
funny. Today's Troy, he had a thing about Prince in the music room at school, and I had literally just read that review or interview yesterday. So when I saw that, I knew exactly what it was, which was the teacher locked himself in the room so he could play all afternoon. I'm assuming that's what you were doing, wasn't it?
yeah, absolutely.
So when I said that, I was going, he's locked in the room all afternoon so nobody bothers him. I thought,
That was
every
perfect.
time I see these things, I'm like, where do I, and I asked him before, I asked Troy, I'm assuming that all the details are accurate, all the buttons and all the things. Whenever you see one of his costumes, he said, "Oh, or not costumes, but what he wears." And he said, "Oh yeah, every button, every brick." And I'm like,
as possible, as much as
Yeah,
possible.
but-
And I'm trying to contact some folks that are very integral to the backstory, and they're not always
Crazy.
so forthcoming. So a lot of it is this stuff, this 70s stuff is kind of left to my imagination and whatever I can scrounge, from
Well, you do
interviews.
black and white.
And
Yeah, you do black and white for the early stuff, which is every time I see that stuff, I'm like going, that's pretty cool. I mean, I love the dedication that this is the thing I enjoy about the community is there's people like you, like Kanissa, like Michael, a lot of these podcasts that just realize that we got to do the heavy lifting now, and our job is we have to kind of share the load. And I think that's one of the reasons I enjoy the PRN alumni stuff, is because it's kind of our way of saying, you've given us so much that we want to give back to other people and to help out. And it,
absolutely. And
I never
think of it as heavy lifting. It's like, this is just,
but it is totally, all of us are kind of sharing it, because there's something about all of us feeling like we got so much out of this, I want to give back. And whether it's photographs or writing or podcasts or articles, it's just either whether the bands that are touring, I never understood that when he passed away, that the community would come together like they have. And that's kind of a nice thing.
It's, I love it. Astonishing.
Speaking of coming together, and even while we're here today, is the upcoming Funk and Roll Weekend. PRN Alumni is going to be October 11th through the 13th. And you guys are actually going to be the host or moderators of the PRN Alumni Shares event. And I wanted to really talk about that. And one, I would say, having firsthand have done that last year is an honor to be a part of that. And I'm like so proud of Troy, Kanissa, of course, Dwayne. Dwayne was there last time too, but I love that, they reach out to, fans to really be a part of this thing. And not so it's just like, only people who worked with Prince, but all of us are a part of this, organization of this event. So with that said, I want to start with Kanissa. Kanissa, can you tell us, there's two things. Tell me like what it felt like when you heard about being a part of this, and then, what your panel is going to be about.
Okay. What I felt first was, my goodness, why me? It was kind of a lot of pressure because we had the Muse podcast and it hadn't been going for too long, but I had been on Prince podcast a couple of times for last year and a half or so. So it's interesting how much people are paying attention to what you're doing, because you really have no idea who's watching. So when I got the call to go call Jackie, I was like, oh, she's like a famous person. But it's really interesting because everybody is so down to earth and just normal people at the end of the day. So I was very much humbled, and I'm very excited. And then my panel is called Her Story. So of course, just like our podcast, it's going to be talking to women who worked with Prince. And I'm going to wait for a little bit to announce who those people are. But very excited about that, just because you hear a lot about, the music side and who he's working with, but not necessarily the people who are always working with him and the business side as well. And I'm very excited to hear, like, what is it like to help manage Prince's career, or what is it like to be the liaison between the record company and the artist, or what is it like to have to plan Prince's days and keep up of everything that he's doing and be the gatekeeper to working with him. So gonna get into that, but also going to get into how do you even begin to get into a career like that, or especially in the positions where women are not represented. Like Prince did bring a lot of women into his camp, but sometimes that's a male-dominated field in a lot of areas. So really excited to talk to these ladies about their experiences.
All right. Can't wait. Can't wait. Mr. Troy, sir, same question. You know, how did it feel when you heard about it? And can you tell us about what your panel is about?
Absolutely. Yeah, man. When I was asked to do this, it was, blown away. You know, to have the folks that spent time with Mr. Nelson and worked with and for him and, you know, helped bring his magic to life, to have them kind of validate us in that way is just the most incredible honor. You know, it's just super humbling. And yeah, I don't know if it's 100% like set in that I'm doing this, but I'm doing this. And yeah, same thing. When Jackie asked me, it's like, okay, yes, like how could I possibly say no? I don't know why you think I can do this, but yes, I'll do this. And totally in. And my panel is appropriate as far as I'm concerned. It's the fashion and style panel. And I was ready to drop some names, but if Kanissa's not gonna, I'm not gonna. But there's a collection of amazing seamstresses, designers, and makeup artists that I think you'll get a real, kick out of hearing some stories from it. And there's some very iconic eras that they worked in that are favorites. And yeah, I'm super excited. I know one or two of them, tangentially, and I can't wait to talk to them more and just, learn what it was like to bring, because for me, of course, Prince's art was his music, but I think it was also his aesthetic. And that was a huge, important, aspect of his presentation and just his being. So to talk to these folks that helped him bring that to life, it's going to be super fun. Can't wait.
Yeah, and no doubt, you're 100% right. I mean, it was the music, but it was all of that, like the looks and everything was a part of it. And also, I didn't add to, this is going to be at the legendary, Capri Theater, right?
Yeah,
like, it's just gonna be amazing. When you walk in that building, you're gonna be like, it's gonna hit you. Like, okay,
I'm tingling just like talking about it.
All right, Dwayne, sir, I'm not gonna ask you how you felt when you heard about it, because I'm gonna call you a veteran. We was there from day one. How about? But I'm gonna ask you though, like, how did it? No, but seriously, how did it feel to be invited back? And again, if you can talk about what your panel is going to be about as well.
It's always humbling to be asked to do something like this because I'm a fan. At the end of the day, I'm a fan of all this stuff. I geek out. You and I were geeking out last time. I just remember both of us going, "What are we doing here?"
Right.
And it was like you said, they're going, "What? This is nuts. This is bananas." But man, it is. When they asked me, I was really honored. Again, humbled. And I love working with these people. These people are great. Jackie is fantastic. Everybody involved with the PRN Alumni is just, they have such good ideas, good intentions, good hearts. And you see it from setting up to taking it down and everything in between are people that really want to extend his legacy. So I had a blast last time. And yeah, it's at the Capri. The Capri, and I'll tell you, if you haven't been to the Capri, it's so cool to get on stage or just see how the stage is, knowing that this is where Prince gave his first solo performance. And you sit there going, this is small, but to him, it must have been, that must have been like a stadium, thinking about that. And he's a young guy being there. And you're thinking, I'm in the same place, breathing the same air, seeing the same thing he was seeing. Cool about that. And then the fans, which I am one, love this stuff. My panel is about engineers,
Okay.
which is cool because you did that last time. And I just sat in the audience watching you thinking, that was so cool listening to you talk to people. This is, I don't think any of the same people are on this year that last year. This year, there's a couple that don't go out there and speak much. And that's the cool thing for me, is hearing people that don't get out there and talk about this stuff much. Explain what people need to understand about engineers. Band members and other people are around Prince a lot. Engineers are around him like 18 hours out of the day. You're alone in a room with this guy. You can't tell Prince's full story without talking to the people who sat there when he's making the thing that we love him for. The music. The music is what brought us all together. And then everything else, we got to go, oh, look at this. He's good at this. He's good at that. He's good at movies. He's good, well, mostly good at movies. He's he's good at touring. He's good at live, all of this stuff. And he's an artist. But the music is what was the invite to all. That was our gateway drug. And seeing and talking to the people that were there in the studio with him when he was making these decisions to take the bass out, to add bass, to cut this short or extend this, bring Morris and make this a time song. All these things are the cool thing to me. And hearing the stories about these people. And the panel stretches from 81. First person that's on the panel started working with Prince in 81. The last ones are toward the end of his career. And you just sit there going, the range of what these people can tell you, being alone with this guy. And some are when he was at his biggest, some are when he's post Warner Brothers, when he was more quiet and Paisley Park wasn't as busy. It just, the stories, and I've heard some of these stories from people, and I'm looking forward to hearing more. And I'm going to be sitting up there geeking out as a fan, because I like to sometimes ask a question and just sit back and hope that it goes well, and just listen to where it goes. Because listening to these people just talk. And the other thing that's cool is when you get a panel like this, is they start switching stories too. One person will tell a story, the other person will finish the story. Oh, once you left the room, let me tell you what happened. This is what happened. And that's the cool thing, is it's better than just an interview with one. It's an interview with all of them, telling their stories and how they relate to each other. So.
All right. Now, one of the things I remember from last time, which of course the events were phenomenal and it was great, experience. But the other part too is sort of the camaraderie and the community of, other fans coming and then actually having an opportunity to, walk up to, Susan Rogers or Dave or St. Paul or somebody and actually like talk to them, which I think was great about these events, is because it really is just open. Like, it's for everybody to come in, when you walk in the place and you see this person, oh, I remember seeing this person in the credits and this and that. And you can actually go up and have a conversation, with them and even sort of go deeper than sort of the base questions. And I think that's another thing about this event that is so great, is that it gives that opportunity in space, for you to actually meet other people, again, meet other fans. Just connecting with, other fans who came to the event, and just to meet people and stuff is such a great thing too. So that's something, I'm sure you guys are looking forward to. Remind me again of the day, because there's 3 days of events, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
I think we're on the third day.
Yeah.
We're on the third day of the events, I recall. The first day is the concert. The concert is
Maceo Park.
Maceo Parker and Candy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you're not going to do better than that. Second day is Funkin' Bowl, and that'll be a fun thing, gathering with all the people. And again, like you said, you're getting to meet more people in the community. And then the third day is the full day of the interviews, which is Saturday, as I recall. It's the full day of interviews of the moderating panel and stuff like that. And the day goes fast. It's informative, but man, the day goes fast because there's so much to cover and so many things. And like you said, the cool thing is after they're done, there's a little bit of time where everybody can kind of go up and shake hands with whoever it is. And these are people that you've seen on the album. Just, look at the album, see the credits. I'm one of these nerds that goes and reads all the credits. Oh, this is Peggy McCreary. And I want to, I see that name, Peggy Mac. And I'm like, who is that person? So it's that kind of stuff that you're just going, oh, and getting to take a picture with these people and talk to them and get to meet them. Putting a face on it is the best, man.
Yeah. And I got to ask you this before we wrap up, do you guys feel Well, let me say this, and I'll say this because I've done it once, and I want to. Do you feel the weight? Does it feel like there's a weight on you of nervous? I mean, again, to be nervous is normal, right? But I'm just curious. What are your thoughts? Like, I want to go with Troy. Like, Troy, what do you feel? Yeah,
of course. You know me. Like, this is hard. Like standing here talking to you,
like this right now.
Yes.
But the thing is, I mean, we're all together with this.
I know I'm gonna be cool, but yeah, I'm like anxiety ridden like all the time. So yeah, it's gonna be fun though. I can't wait.
Kanisa.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like since Prince stepped out, all of us have kind of been pulled forward a little bit in ways that have made us a little more than what we would normally to kind of pull us out of ourselves. And I was making a joke that we all work for him now. But I appreciate the amount of growth that I personally have had since then, because it's like now I have to step out and I'm not welcome criticism, but be exposed to a lot more. So yeah, it is a little scary, but also it's such a growth opportunity, I feel like, and I'm really excited.
Yeah, I want to let me get back on that, because that is exactly true, Kanisa. It's like, at least I'm being pushed out of my comfort zone, and that is the only way we're going to grow. And even as a middle-aged man, it's a good thing to keep growing. So yeah. I'm grateful for that opportunity. Sorry,
yeah. No, and I think both of you guys spoke on it. I always look at it as, when you hear people that have worked with Prince, and sometimes they'll say he asked me to do something that I didn't necessarily do, but you can't say no, and so you just jump in and you make it happen. You figure it out. Maybe this is a certain way of that for us, right? It's like you get that call and say, I don't know if you know what? Yeah, do it. Like, you got to do it. And the thing about it too is that, I mean, Dwayne is there, Jackie, James, shout out to James. Everyone is there to help us do what we do. And I always say, they ask you for a reason. Like maybe people are seeing things in you that you may not necessarily see in yourself sometimes, but it is there that you can do this and you are going to do this. And I know Dwayne can speak to it. I mean, looking at that book, right, and just the amount of work that book is, and we know how the community can be sometimes when you put stuff out there. There is the Prince scholars, and they're going to be there to critique and really go through what it is that you do. And for him to drop that book like that, which was so much wealth of information into, in my opinion, it standard the test of time, or it standard that test of even the hardcore Prince fan was like, yo, this is the book. So, I mean, I know that he can speak that to that, what I'm saying, to be rising to the occasion, right? And pushing yourself to the next level.
It's, being on stage is always scary. It's always scary. I'm sweating right now talking to you. There's always that fear of, we don't have a net. All of a sudden, we can say the wrong thing and we're destroyed. You just try not to, but the thing that scares me is I feel the weight, and it's not scary. It's keeps me in check, is the weight of, we're doing this, why we're doing it. We're doing it for a good purpose, for a good charity, for a good cause, on several levels. I would go to this thing just to watch. The fact that I'm on stage is even cooler. My biggest fear is making sure I just say everybody's name right, because they're the ones telling the stories. I want to make sure I say the right names and all this stuff. That's my job. My job is to throw a question out there and step back and let these people talk and not forget. I'll have notes. You and I both, you had a little iPad on stage, as I recall, a little pad. I was watching thinking, damn, look at that. I'm figuring a pad of paper, and I'm like, oh, pencil and stuff, 1970s stuff. You're like computers up there, boop, 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 getting everything. I'm like, I got to take notes of this guy. And you'll see this time I still don't do it. I'll bring a pad of paper up there, and I didn't learn. But I'm looking forward to, it's a little scary, but you know what? There's something fun about being out there and hearing the people laugh at the stories and knowing that you're right there. And it's because you're representing the other fans, other fams, and you're representing Prince. And that's the cool thing. You feel like, you know what? We all are doing things to kind of get us closer to what that was like. None of us will work with them now, but we can always be around the people and be one removed. And that's kind of what I feel with this is, is it's a bridge to his legacy and bridge to understanding him better. And I think we all want that.
Well said.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think we lost your video there, Troy.
Uh-oh.
But we're going to wrap things up. But we want to remind you guys that it is October 11th through the 13th, PRN Alumni Funk and Roll Weekend. These are your panelists. We are super excited. I guess they will be announcing the names of the panelists later. But definitely, if you haven't already, go to the website, PRNalumni.com. Get your tickets, do what you need to do. If you can, also go ahead and donate, but definitely want to check this out. I am going to try my best to be there. I hope to see everybody there. It's going to be a great thing. And it's a great reason why they're doing this again, creating opportunities for other people as well. So with that, any last words from you guys before we get out of here?
Can I add, I know you said James, and I want to add Robin as well. Both James and Robin are so helpful behind the scenes with this stuff. Jackie and everybody else, Craig, Hucky, everybody that's involved with this stuff. And I know there's 1,000 names I'm forgetting at the moment, but man, there is a team that puts this together that really is on the phone every day, 10, 15 times with each other every day. And you got to respect that, because what they're doing is trying to get the word out, money out to charities. These are the charities that Prince would support and did support. So that's the cool thing, is what this is finding a way to extend his legacy through his charitable work. And so I got to respect all the people up and down there. And I want to make sure none of them get forgotten.
I want to piggyback on that.
Me too.
Piggyback away. Yes, yes. Salute and shout out to everybody. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there you go. We're about to get up out of here. My name is Michael Dean. And as I always say, work it like a job. We will see you next time. Peace.